So our topic today is the CJ 3-point focus program for profitable hog raising. Okay. So the outline of my presentation today would focus on first the global scenario of the pig industry, and some parts of uh, currently our Philippine industry, and introduction to pig business. Okay. For some beginners, this is quite important. And fourth is the basic considerations before setting up your piggery business. Okay, and I could walk you through some pig business setup, facilities and equipment, feeding the pig, and how to sustain your pig business. Okay, this is our current scenario globally. So as you could see, the countries on the dark areas or the dark colored countries are the most pig dense countries in the world. Okay, so this includes China and some parts of Southeast Asia. Remember that these areas of Asia had the more pigs are living there than people, than the rest of the world. Okay, imagine how many pigs are in China around. It's around 446 million pigs in China. In the Philippines, we're only about 13 million right now, but we still belong to the top 10 pig producers of the country. Okay, so this means that the pig business here in the Philippines is quite promising. Okay, malaki yung potential na kikitain natin dito. At the same time, it's more sustainable because Filipinos, we love pork. Okay, we love fat. We love oil, okay? We love cholesterol, right? But we have to be careful also to take care of our health. As I mentioned before, the Philippines is on the top 8 pork-producing countries, okay? We're far from China, but we're near the productions of Canada and Vietnam now, okay? Before, we used to occupy the top 6 pig-producing countries, but due to disease challenges and some management issues, the pig business is not that expressing its full potential yet. On per capita consumption, the Philippines is consuming around 15 kilograms of pork per year. Okay, we are above our targets of Asia, but remember, China is eating twice as much pork. That's why the expansion on China for the last 3 or 4 years have been quite huge, okay? Because they have to sustain their food security, okay? Most of the pork here in the Philippines are locally produced, but still we need more pigs, we need more pork to sustain our growth also. Okay. By 2017, this is my slide for the early part of this year. We are about 104 million, 105 almost for 2017. So to cope up with our population growth, which is around 2 to 3% per year for Filipinos, the pig industry has to increase at around 20,000 sows per year just to cope up with the population growth without changing the system. At the same time, the pig industry have been growing at around 1 to 2% only. So the opportunity for pig raising is big. Okay? This last July of 2017, I have a privilege to get the latest statistics of pig in the Philippines. Totally, in the Philippines, we are about 12.5 million pigs as of July of 2017. We have a slight increase of less than 1% compared to the previous period of last year. Okay. The slowdown of the growth in the pig population is basically due to the challenges of disease like porcine endemic diarrhea. Right now, the pigs are the pigs that are marketed today are the ones affected by that challenge last March and April. So meaning, the pigs now are less. That's why the prices of the pigs are quite high now. Maybe it will reach now at around 130, 132 on some areas. Okay, on some areas it's around 125 to 127 right now. But the problem now is, since we need pigs to be slaughtered, the size or the weight of the pigs are being sacrificed. We should at least market the pigs at around 90, 95 kilo, but due to the demand of the buyers of the wet market, the pig weights become low. It's around 85 or even less than 90 right now. For the backyard industry, Bicol region is the biggest backyard industry. Okay. Second to that is Davao region. So meaning the backyard industry before here in Luzon is quite a big chunk of the population, but due to the challenges of the backyard industry, the Luzon backyard became much fewer. Okay. Challenges, disease, as I mentioned before, was a big problem to these backyard raisers. For commercial raisers, which these are the farms that are around 100 sow to 1,000. It's about, right now, Central Luzon is the one getting the biggest chunk of the commercial pig populations. Okay. These commercial farms are the one that are going through expansions because they are feeling the benefits of the pig price right now. Okay. They are investing more on good housing, good management practices, and they have the ability to expand to other locations also because they have enough money to buy a new property or something. So right now, this is the total picture. Last July of 2017, we are around 12.5 million, right? This is 12.5 million, which recorded a slight increase only with the same period of last year. It should have been bigger if not with the disease challenge that are experienced before. Not only porcine endemic diarrhea, but also there is some minor cases of respiratory challenges also with the farm. These respiratory challenges are the one contributes the low growth of animals because pigs are getting sick more often due to the changes of weather, due to the old facility, the bacterial load of the farm, and some frequent changes of management people that are handling the pigs. I know that some of the pig workers now are entertaining offers from Canada, right? Some veterinarians are also interested on working abroad. More Filipinos now are working in China, right? With my previous company, PIC Philippines, most of our fellow Filipino veterinarians are working with PIC China. Filipinos are telling some Chinese raisers how to raise pigs properly because they just raise pigs on the volumes, not much focusing on how the management has to adapt. Okay. Remember, I would like to also to mention that you know that in China there is a conventional housing also, like the one that we are here in the Philippines. That's open-sided, bukas yung trapal. Diba? Remember, China is how cold it's around. Sometimes it drops on 2 degrees, 3 degrees. That's why pigs are getting more sick when this management adjustments are not being given properly. That's why China is getting more pigs from other countries like Vietnam, Russia, Canada, then also in the US. And also with the increase in China's pig population, the requirement for feed grains like wheat, like soya, are being diverted majority to China. That's why here in the Philippines, we are looking into the possibilities of getting the uh, alternative feed materials like corn and wheat bran, just to cope up with the shortage sometimes of soya. Okay. The only stable feed grain here in the Philippines is corn, which is harvested on the northern parts of the Philippines, like Isabela, Pangasinan. But we don't have soya here. We need soya for our feed. So we need to find alternatives just to reduce the consumption of soya. So that's the problem now. Okay? That's where the nutritionists came in, would go in to advise pig farmers how to feed the pigs. Now, it's not only the problem of the quantity of the pigs, it's also an issue of what to be fed on the pigs also. Okay. So this is the continuation of the population per region. So I'd like to just run it down for you just to see what's the picture of the pig industry in your respective areas. Maybe some of you are in South Luzon, some of you are in Northern Luzon. So this would give you a reference point on how the pig business is going through. It's there naman. This is I would like to mention the trend on the market price now compared to last year, June of last year. We increased at about 9 pesos already, 8 to 9 pesos for the hog price. The recorded average of last June is around 111. Now it's 130. Remember the big jump of the price from June to October? It's quite a big. This means that the population is not enough, so the price won't go up because it's a supply and demand scenario. So basically, we would see that for the next half of the year, this price trend would continue to go up. We wouldn't want to reach the live weight at around 140, but it's not impossible if the supply is not there. But I think the DTI, the Department of Trade and Industry, are looking into some possible remedies. So this would require some importations also, just to lower down the cost of the pork in the market. For the market developments, basically all porks are consumed locally. Okay, 90% of our pigs are sold into live markets like wet markets. Okay, that we considered as meat, fresh, warm meat. We're not yet on the same scenario as compared to other countries that the pork are being pre-cut, trimmed, or specifically cut for a specific part of the pork. Okay, so basically it's all wet market now. We're not yet on the processing. Okay, but if the pig industry would grow as we wanted it, the opportunity for exports is there. Okay. The big commercial farms would be the one, of course, first to see how export would be implemented. But for our backyard, we should be sustained but magtuloy-tuloy lang yung performance or yung ating racing just to also give a big part dun sa requirements natin locally. Okay. For CJ 3.3 focus program, we focus on 3 aspects of pig racing. Number 1 is the nutrition excellence, genetic preference, and also the management expertise. We believe that these 3 aspects are the most important things that you should think about. Okay? We should not only focus on feed, we should also think of or look into our pigs. Are these pigs capable of producing more meat? Are these pigs capable of producing pigs later on? Okay? Are these pigs potentially expressing with the feed that we are giving to them? And also the management. The management approach on pig racing has to be tailored fit with the pig that you are taking care of. Okay? before when I was with PIC, we give management manuals for every customer that buys those pigs to us, because it's our commitment to them to teach them how these pigs should be managed. It's like buying a cell phone and has an instructional manual there. So you could use it properly, and you could not use a different manual for that different phone. You could not maximize its full potential if it's not properly being taken care of. Why pig farming? Okay, pork is the most popular meat for the Filipinos. We love meat. We love pork. Average Filipino, again, we consume 15 kilograms of pork per year. Okay. Philippines ranks among the top 10 meat consumers, and more variety of food can be done, can be used. Okay. Yeah. Marami tayong pwedeng food that we could prepare out of pork. And again, pigs can be marketed at any given time compared to poultry. Why I said this? In poultry, they just market it when it reaches around 1.5 kilo, like the dressed chicken that you see in the market. But for the pigs, for pig raisers, you could sell it like a piglet. You could sell it to other raisers that who want to buy a piglet. You could sell it as a full-grown pig, like finishers, that was being slaughtered in the market. Okay, you could sell it also as breeders if your genetics are designed to produce more or produce breeders later on. So there's a variety of opportunities sa pig farming. No? So could be sold anytime. Pork accounts of around 60% of the livestock industry right now. So it's quite big compared to poultry. Remember late this year, there was a case of avian influenza. Okay? So the poultry industry had suffered, the egg industry specifically, not only the ducks, but also the chicken layers was also affected. That's the reason also that the pig price went high, because people would prefer to buy pork than to buy chickens, because the bird flu scare was not properly addressed by the government also. So we think that once there's bird flu, you could be infected by bird flu by eating poultry meat, but it's not. It's not. The affected ones are the one that is laying in Pampanga and some parts of Nueva Ecija. The economic value also of pig raising is quite good, and the market is ready now. Okay. Pig grow fast and capable of producing 2 liters per year. I mean, 2 liters is 2 sets of piglets. Okay. The pigs would produce twice a year. Okay. So it's a big opportunity. Okay. Small investment could also work on beginners. But remember, for beginners, you have to know how the business first would go around. Okay. It's not a simple buy this one, put this one, without setting your goal on what you should wanted. Right now, manure can be converted into energy like biogas. Okay. That's an alternative source of energy. I was able to handle a farm that has a biogas facility. Then eventually, he's consuming the produced biogas for his generator. So it supplies the farm electricity needs by around 60%. Then later on, he ventured into solar panel. So he wanted to be more efficient, so he invests on solar panel. And right now, he is selling the energy coming from the solar panel. So basically, it's a good opportunity also. And it's environmental friendly. Okay, we are not buying any more electricity coming from petrol or coal. So it's quite sustaining. What's the advantage of pig business? Potential earnings can be high depending on the efficiencies of the farmer. It requires a small capital and possibly generate relatively consistent income. Okay. Pigs would just be consistent basta maayos yung alaga mo. Okay. Capital turnover is relatively fast also. Because right now, on the price of the pigs, you could get your ROI on less than 3 years, I think. Very flexible and free to expand to contract production. Some pig raisers before na raising about 100 heads of pigs. Then eventually, some companies opened the opportunity for contract growing. So they wanted to raise more pigs. They are already skilled on raising more pigs, so they're capable of expanding also. So they potentially earn more income on that part. So if there's an advantage, what is the disadvantage? Of course, disease challenge is there. Pig density on our farm, if you have current farms now, you would see that the residential are also increasing. Yeah. Before you buy a lot far outskirts of the rural area. Yeah, dinevelop mo yung land. Then eventually, naglagay ka ng electric line ng electricity. Eventually, the residential would follow. Dinevelop mo yung farm-to-market roads. Na-develop ngayon yung mga lots. Diba? Nagkaroon ng value yung mga lots within your farm perimeter or even like 5-kilometer radius. Made-develop talaga yung land. So it's a disadvantage also. That's why the disease challenge is getting. Cost of inputs is increasing, like I've mentioned, due to the development of China. So yung feed, yung inputs, it's quite increasing right now. The thing is to offset the input increase, you have to be more efficient na lang. Okay. Produce more pigs, you raise pigs on a faster growth rate para mas efficient. Okay. Less mortality. Farm management skills must also adapt because pigs are not the same as our pigs last year. Okay. Disease challenge or if you change genetics, it must adapt. So the genetics would express its potential. Okay. Another thing, climate change also is changing. Okay. The pigs require an average of around 28 degrees actually. Your growing pigs require 28 degrees. It's like this room. It's cold like this room now. So if your pigs is open-sided, the intake of the pigs is lower because the heat increment coming from the feed would just compensate on the environmental factor. So the pigs would eat lesser kasi mainit yung paligid. Then if the pigs would be comforted or maganda yung ventilation or yung housing, it would eat more. It would grow more faster. So that's a challenge. Okay. So on the backyard level, I think that's also the main reason why they are not being sustainable. Kasi they are open-sided operations. They are not looking into the improvement of their housing. So the growth is there. Yeah. Environmental concerns like flies and odors is quite an issue. Okay. Your neighbor would sometimes complain about, the flies are quite numerous right now compared to other parts of or before that the farms are not operational. The odors is also an issue. Okay? Sometimes rereklamo ka doon sa barangay na merong hindi magandang odor, particularly on madaling araw, yung mga early parts of the morning. So medyo that's an issue. So what are the basic considerations of setting up your farm? If you are setting up your farm now, this is what you need to do. You need to think about. Well, first the location. Okay, where is the location of the farm, the facility? And determine your preferred piggery setup. Okay, there's a different setup of piggeries. There's a breed to finish where you would raise sows, you buy gilts, you raise it, okay? Then you produce pigs, then raise it until it was market time. Okay. There are other pig operations naman that you have to buy only piglet from other sources, and you raise it like a contract growing style. Then you market it. Okay. There are pig farmers that just producing piglets for other raisers to continue. Okay? Feasibility study is quite important also, no? So you have to do your math. Okay? Do your costing. Okay? Then, who will manage the farm? Is it us? Is it the owner? Okay? Is it somebody on your relative? Or you have to get from unskilled establishment like TESDA? Okay? Or you would get people from your neighbor's farm. Okay? Water, electrical supplies, yes. Also important. Security of locations. Okay. Before, you would get a land na underdeveloped pa, but there was a security issue also. So it's give us a problem in the future with security reasons. Then where the pigs to source out? If you're buying your pigs or you're setting up a new farm, where you would buy your gilts? From a breeding company, from other farms, from your friend's farm, okay? And the risk there is also available, okay? If you're getting a pig from a breeder farm, so you're assured that the pigs won't get sick easily. If you're getting pigs from other farms, you would also buying the disease there with the pigs. So you're getting the same problem as kung ano yung meron siya. Okay. Then sanitation and waste disposal, you have to take this into consideration also. Because eventually it would give you problems. So right now, before mag-start ka pa lang, you plan it na paano yung waste. Hindi muna lagay muna natin dyan sa gilid, then eventually your neighbor lot would be complaining na kumakalat. Paano pag biglang umulan? Go overflow. Pupunta dun sa rice field. Mako-complain ka. So please consider that. For location, okay, again, sabi ko, available land and area. So you have the land na. Okay. Then you check the title. Tingnan mo naman yung plan ng lot. Then orientation of the building is quite important. Okay. You already heard about the east-west orientation of buildings. So yung side ng buildings, if the building is like this, the east is on the left side and the west is on the right side. Okay. The reason behind that is the natural disinfection of sunlight. Okay. So the pig barn or yung pig building would be subjected into sunlight but would not be hindi siya masyadong iinit during the noon. Okay? Not like on the other way around, kung longitudinal, kung northwest orientation. So the ventilation is quite good on east-west orientation. Then the third one is pig and people density within 0.5 kilometer to 5 kilometer. So please check on that. I heard kanina when I was talking with one audience, nasa San Mateo siya, San Mateo Rizal, sabi ko sa kanya, when you buy that pig lot or pig facility 9 years ago, the population was not that dense before. Okay. But now, diba, nade-develop yung area. Okay. Eventually, your farm would be petitioned later on. So, if you're considering to build a new farm, you think of the development plan to that area. Baka in 10 years' time, wala na yung pig business mo. So you have to look on another facility again. Diba? Or you have to sell it to develop a new facility. Okay? Sa Bulacan, ganyan ang naging sitwasyon. Before, Bulacan, 20 years ago is not that dense. Okay? Ngayon, ang mga farm yan, bakod na lang ang pagitan. Okay? Pagka may mortality, some pig farmers are throwing the mortalities on the other side. Okay? And the problem is, the disease challenge is quite also big. Farm-to-market roads is available ba or you have to develop pa? Okay. Remember, your buyers are the one going to your farm to buy your pigs. You're not the one taking the pigs to the buyer. That's the situation right here in the Philippines. It's not the same as in Canada. In Canada, there are people that harvest the pigs and they would send those pigs to the slaughterhouse. Okay. The owners are being paid based on the grade of meat. Ano yung grade nung karne, ano yung back fat nung karne. That's the way and the other countries are doing. Do you have existing electrical supply or water source? If not, how you should develop? Hindi naman po pwedeng genset lang tayo for the longest time. Okay? Medyo malaki ang investment. And again, peace and order and provincial zoning policies. There are provinces that have agricultural lands that should not be developed into other kinds. No? So tayo doon tayo sa agricultural.